So maybe you're at a point in your life right now where you're thinking, I got to get through this. I got to get past this. I got to get beyond this. Well, if you have 6 hours to cut down a tree, spend 4 hours sharpening your axe and 2 hours chopping down the tree. Abraham Lincoln said that. And I remember hearing that years ago, early in my development. And I thought, I love that because I can do that. I can control that. I can work harder on myself than I do on my business. I can work harder on myself than I do on my relationships. I can work harder on myself than I do on my results. Because if not, what we do is we take that same dull axe and we just try to cut down the tree with it. And we wonder why it's so laborious and it's so fatiguing and depressing, frankly. So this is a place here within the MyCORE Academy to sharpen your axe. Hi there, nice to meet you. My name is Nathan Bourne. I'm the founder and CEO of MyCORE, and I'm just stoked that you're taking a look at the MyCORE Academy. And I thought I would just spend a few minutes with you to give you a taste. At this point, you've probably seen some of our content. Maybe you've come across social media, and if you've gotten this far to really consider joining our academy, then we probably align. We probably have similar core values. But I thought I would share with you the core values of MyCORE, our mission, and then tell you a little bit about my personal story. Now, I operate in an ensemble. I have an amazing team, and you're going to have access through the academy to that team. But I am going to be at the kind of tip of the spear. So if you were hoping to get like more Nathan Bourne in your life, this is probably for you. If you were thinking not wanting that, then this is probably not for you. So let me just share with you a little bit about who I am, my story, and then how that's led into who MyCORE is. And that alone is something that I think could be of huge value. If you're saying, hey, Nathan, I've mastered something or I've gotten pretty good at something, and I'm hoping to institutionalize it. I want to build a brand. I want to build a team. I want to build a company. I want to build an asset that isn't just fully dependent on me. That's kind of a forte of mine. I don't claim to have a lot of fortes, but that's kind of my jam. So that alone could be the reason for you to invest the time and the energy and the money to come into the MyCORE world and to be part of the MyCORE Academy. So let me state upfront our values. Walk by faith, lead with who, and measure what matters. That is the foundation. That is the core of MyCORE. I'll be unpacking those. In fact, there's entire courses on just those values alone. And then how to build values and a mission, because it's everything as your business scales, especially in a changing landscape. You're going to hear me talk a lot about business, but I'm not really talking about business. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about this thing called the human experience. So when I use the term asset or asset building, I'm not just talking about a business. This academy is for individuals. If you happen to be a business owner, you're going to get a lot of value for sure. But even if you're not, this is for you. I promise you. So let me tell you my story. I'm from a huge family. I'm the fourth of 9 children. Grew up in the Ocean City, Maryland area most of my life. And my parents are kind of a unique bunch. They got married very young at 18 and 19. And they went immediately into the baby making business, which is fruitful, but not lucrative. So we grew up very poor, frankly. Before I graduated high school, we had moved 24 different times, mainly just due to financial instability. So very humble upbringing. I don't know if you can relate to that. If you grew up similarly, then we're probably kindred spirits. We probably have some trauma bonding that we can do. If you grew up really stable and your parents are awesome and you grew up wealthy, I hate you. I'm joking. Of course, there's things that are in your past that have shaped who you are, and it's good and it's bad and it's ugly. And I welcome you into this community because I'd love to learn from you. We all have our stuff, right? But that's just my story. That's kind of my journey for whatever it's worth. So we kind of lived off the grid. My parents are kind of anti-conformists, didn't really believe in the school system, didn't believe in like all the big things. They were kind of ahead of their time, actually, like big pharma and big agriculture, and just wanted to live off the land. So we did. We hunted, we gardened, we were homeschooled. Um, but that was a little bit more like no schooled. So there wasn't a whole lot of education, although there was a lot of hands-on, and I'm so thankful for that. It's something that I love about my childhood. But it wasn't until seventh grade that I even had seen the inside of a school. And at that time, and there's a whole nother story to it, I'll tell you on one of our live trainings or live workshops. But it came to my attention later in life that I really could barely read or write when I went into school in seventh grade. I was not prepared. I think about my children now. I have 5 children, and they're doing really well in school, and totally because of their mother. They are structured, and they're in a routine, and they've got great, education opportunities. And I see some of the homework they're doing, and I'm like, I don't remember this at all. But I loved school. It was a safe haven for me. It was warm in there, and the lighting was great, and there was food, and there were friends, and there were books, and there were sports. And I was like, this place is awesome. And I got told that if I took it seriously and I got good grades, that I could be successful. And I heard that if you were athletic and you did well athletically, then you could really do well. And for me, that was a meal ticket. That was like a passport. And I didn't want to necessarily leave my childhood. It wasn't that I was like, I got to get out of here, but there was just sort of something in my core that knew that I was going to repeat history if I didn't lock and load into my athletics and into my academics. So I did that. I took them very seriously. I got kind of obsessed. And fast forward 6 years graduating high school, I went from being barely able to read and write in seventh grade to getting handwritten letters from the coaches at Harvard and Stanford and Penn, and ended up going and wrestling Division I at the University of Pennsylvania, the Ivy League school. And that was a total culture shock. That was not where I came from. So talk about imposter syndrome, there will be an entire course on that alone. And I'm looking forward to unpacking that with you and myself. But I only say that not to boast or brag or to impress you. Actually, that's kind of the main reason I say it. But to impress upon you that you can change your life, even when you're juvenile and you're in your adolescence and you don't even really know what you don't know. You can change your life drastically. And it doesn't have to take 7 years. It can take a year, a couple years, 3 years, 5 years. I mean, you can really drastically change your life if you lock and load in the right environment, around the right people, in the right culture. And I was blessed to get around the right people. There were just some things that went right that I'm so thankful for. I recognize that I did make some of those decisions, that I did kind of some of the right things, but I made a bunch of mistakes as well. And I just felt blessed. I feel blessed. And I felt like, man, there's something here that is leading me down this path. In other words, I'm feeling called. So let me fast forward to when I'm a senior in college. And at this point, I've had a business all through college. I've been wrestling, I've been going to class and running a business. I started my first business my freshman year of college, a clothing company. And due to some things that happened on the home front, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a break from school. I'm still on that break. So I am technically an Ivy League dropout. So I withdrew, in good standing and good grades and all that. But then I just started building and being an entrepreneur. And I've done that full time. I've never had a job. I'm now employed as the CEO of the company that I founded in 2018. But for the past 15 years, from age 21 to about to be 36, I've been a full-time entrepreneur. I've literally never even been on an interview or put a resume together. I've never been hired. I've never been fired. So if entrepreneurship and leadership is part of what you're looking for, I'm probably your guy. But this isn't about me, because I've built an amazing team of about 50 plus and growing, but particularly my executive team. If you go to mycore.ai, our main website, you'll see immediately pop up what I call squad goals. It's myself, I'm holding this notebook, and there's individuals around me that make up my executive team that are the real deal Holyfield. And they're going to be part of this academy experience for you. You're going to have access to them directly. They're building courses. They're going to be on our live trainings. They're going to be at our live events. You're going to be in community with these people. So say all that to say that when I was in my late 20s, going down the path of starting MyCORE, I was not feeling equipped, but I was feeling called. And I love the saying that God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. So if you're feeling compelled, you're feeling called into this community or into something else, and you know that you need to really get better, frankly. You need to get better in your thinking. You need to get better in your doing. You need to get better in the environment that you're in. The MyCORE Academy is absolutely for you. And we've built it on this formula, this equation, this kind of simple math equation that has been a guidepost for my life. It's mindset plus skill set plus tool set equals asset. So let's reverse engineer that. Are you interested in building an asset? Now, I know that sounds like a business, and that's probably mainly who we'll attract and have continued to attract. But the purpose of this academy is to open up MyCORE, to open up our world to you as an individual, to you as a person. We have a mission to be the world's most people-centric company. And we've lived that out in our solutions, in our products, in our culture, in our partnerships, in all the ways. We're not perfect, but we really pride ourselves on how seriously we take that North Star, we take that mission. You're a person, I'm a person. And this thing called life is not easy. We've got to have the right thinking. We've got to have the right mindset. And that's going to come down to what's been poured into you, the programming, the content, and not just the scroll city, but the depth, what really saturates your soul and gets deep into your core. And you can only get that in community, and you can only get that through spaced repetition. I was blessed right out of college to be in that community. I had a precursor to MyCORE for 9 years that I got around personal development and mentorship, and I went to seminars and I read books and I took notes. I have notebooks like this, literally stacks of them, where I built my philosophies, I built my beliefs, I built my core values, that mindset. And that mindset is integrated with, it cascades and ripples into my skill set. Now, skill set's important. You can't just be up here thinking. You got to do, and you got to be better. You got to be able to speak. You got to be able to share. You got to be able to write. You got to be able to express. You got to be able to do the thing. So there's some skills that I've developed and that my team has developed and that I know you've developed that are going to be part of this experience. They're going to be part of this academy. I'm excited because you're going to go from watching me right now, making a decision to join, and in weeks or months being the expert that's training and bringing that material. I'm not going to do a guru model where we're the all-knowing and you come fall at our feet. No, this is an ensemble. This is a collaboration. This is a community. So there's things that are uniquely you, that you're gifted in, because God put them in you and because you've cultivated them, because you've gotten your 10,000 hours. And we want to tease that out, right? We want to evoke that out of you. So I hope that teaching and speaking and sharing and writing and creating, producing is something that draws you to the academy as well, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity for that. So anywho, you've got mindset, right? You've got skill set, but you got to have the right tool set. You got to be using the right platform, the right technology. You got to be with it, right? It's about to be 2025. I mean, this stuff changes constantly. So we're making sure we're always at the cutting edge, including being on this platform school, right? And leaning into that and saying, hey, what a cool way to build a micro education experience take 6+ years of learning curve and mistakes and triumphs and just all the things that come with building a business and a team and a brand, and now make it available for less than $1 a day. I mean, come on. That's amazing. Now we're talking asset. So I just don't want you to limit it to a business. I want you to limit to the asset that is your mind, your body, your soul, your family, your relationships, your health, your impact, your community, this community, all the things. If that inspires you, if that gets your wheels turning, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, get on in. The water's warm. We want to meet you. We want you to get immediate value as well. So the moment you join this academy, you will be given access to courses. You will be given access to community, and you'll be able to catch our next live workshop, which I will be leading personally. So this is also a bit of a disclaimer. If you were thinking, hey, Nathan, I've been watching your content and I don't really dig you that much, then this is probably not for you. At the same time, it's not just going to be me, but this is going to be my jam. I mean, I'm now in a place where my business, MyCORE, operates really well because we've built such an amazing system and such an amazing culture. So I have bandwidth, I have capacity, I have margin to be at my highest and best, and to just serve my soul and what we as an executive team have decided is the best thing for the asset that is MyCORE Inc. is for me, Nathan Bourne, to create and to pour out and to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly of what has been the last 15 years of entrepreneurship, and very specifically this business. And why do I say that? Because I'm not knocking other coaches and consultants and thought leaders or content creators. That they're all great and they bring a lot of value. I'm constantly learning from them. Oftentimes, however, when you get kind of under the hood a little bit and you were to ask the question, hey, show me what business you've applied these things to. Show me the proof. They go, oh, well, it's this business, the one where you pay me that subscription or that high ticket item. And that's fine, of course. I'm not knocking that. However, what's nice, and this is why I dig a guy like Alex Hormozi and why I've chosen the school platform, because of who he is. He built real businesses in the real world before ever showing up in the limelight, before ever showing up on the World Wide Web. And I kind of fancy myself the same, that I've been off the grid. I've been in the trenches and I've just gathered like thousands of hours, and it's nuanced, and you need the spaced repetition to really put this thing together and to build it right and to build it once. I'm guessing you've probably had some failure up to this point. If not, then you haven't even started, and that's okay too. That's just embark. But I promise you, resistance and failure and mishap, it's coming. And it will always come because every level has its devil. But I also heard once, learn from mistakes, preferably other people's. So this is a killer opportunity to join the MyCORE Academy and learn from other people's mistakes, other people's missteps. You can sidestep and you can succeed a whole lot faster. You can compress time frames. Also, if you're a person that says, hey, I'm not just looking to learn, I'm looking to do. There's 4 different types of knowledge. This will be one of the courses you'll have access to that really unpacks this. But learn knowledge, taking notes and attending seminars and watching videos. It's really important. That classroom style learning is great. But they say that an hour in the field is worth 20 in the classroom. So you've got to also get activity knowledge, like doing it. And as I kind of alluded to earlier, this is going to be a collaborative experience. This isn't a course where you just kind of go through it and check the boxes and take the quiz. This is a dynamic space. This is a dynamic community. And it's going to be participatory. It's going to be collaborative. And that's where you're going to get your learn knowledge and your activity knowledge working together. And then you're going to get modeling knowledge, which means you can have a mentor. You can have people that you look up to and you model after. And not just because they're pie in the sky or they're off there in lights, camera, action land, but because you're in real community with them, you're in real relationship with them. And then here's what happens. You become worthy of being modeled. Isn't that awesome that people say, hey, I want to be like her. I want to be like him. I see what you did there. I see what you're doing there. I just started following you. I love your content. I love your goal. I love your mission. I love, the things that you're, forteing and, expertising. And I'm just making up words at this point, but you get what I'm saying, right? And then the last piece is that teaching knowledge, when you get to pour it all out. That's where I'm at. It's so exciting. I get to teach you things that I've learned, and I get to learn all at the same time. And these things don't happen in sequence where you stop doing one and then graduate to the other. They happen in conjunction. It's like that Dance Revolution game, right? You got to do learn and activity and modeling and teaching all at the same time. Okay. I wanted to spend about 20 minutes for you to get a feel for who we are, why we exist, and what this MyCORE Academy is about. I hope you'll give it a shot, and I hope you won't just kick the tires. I hope you'll lean in. So join, come on board, and you're going to be invited into some really cool things. This is just one of the areas that the MyCORE Academy brings value here on the school platform, but you can immediately get it by joining right now. Welcome.